Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who are new here, my name is Nolu, and for the returning subbies, you have no idea how much I love you guys and appreciate the continuous love and support you guys show to me. So I was so conflicted about this topic, but I thought, you know what, let's dive in because it was a trigger to me, and for most people maybe it was a trigger. Hence I thought, you know what, let me record this video and get your views on it. So I'm gonna first give you guys context and I'll let you guys know what happened to me. Hence the video was a trigger, and you guys could let me know your thoughts. So let's start right at the beginning. So there was an accident, I think last week. Yeah, I think last week, Monday or Tuesday, at a preschool, Little Ashford, where a bookshelf fell on top of Umdan, guys, a 3-year-old boy. And I just feel like that whole thing was handled wrong. So this is not coming from the school or anything. This is what I read or heard on the news. So apparently what had happened is that a bookshelf fell on a child, and a few hours lapsed before the preschool contacted the parents to let them know kuti umntana ulimele. And when the parents got to the preschool, they were denied access. The father had to break the door down or kick the door down in order to gain access onto the preschool or into the principal's office. I don't know which one was it, or Ankumbulkaki. But all in all, when they got there, so they basically wanted answers. What happened to our child? Because after the bookshelf fell, apparently this child started bleeding and he was moved from the scene. We all know if someone is hurt, you can't move them. You need to wait for paramedics to do that. He was moved from the scene into the sick bay, the kids' sick bay, and apparently they were waiting for an ambulance to come fetch him. I'm not sure who fetched him or what happened, but he eventually went to the hospital, and apparently when he got to the hospital, he had already passed. So when the parents got back to the school, they kicked out doors and whatnot, which is understandable. I would have done the same thing. They asked to see the footage because the preschool has footage in every classroom. Then I don't know if but excuses started. The footage for them to see. Eventually, when they saw the footage, they saw that 4 teachers were on their phones. I repeat that. 4 teachers and helpers were on the phone. So what Little Ashford does is that there's teachers and there's helpers, and they were on their phones, or whatever they were doing. But apparently each time they would look up was to laugh at each other's joke. Was to laugh. Like, I think it baffles me because I'm thinking, if you are dealing with toddlers, you would think these children need my full attention and my eyes need to be on them. And another thing that confuses me is that when you're looking down, I can still see what's in front of me. Not clearly, but I can see that here I have a ring light. And I basically can see myself in the mirror. Not clearly, but I can. So I don't understand how it happened that they wouldn't see umntana before. Hence, indeed, what happened, guys? We need the truth, because firstly, you're leaving the parents with vague answers, and they're the ones that are going to be picking up the pieces after this. So my son goes to one of the campuses, not where the accident happened, but one of the Little Ashford campuses. And the first I heard of the story was on radio. Like Smamilland for 7, all of a sudden they're reporting on this. I'm like, what? Luckily, my son was in the car. And I'm just like, how? And of course, I would have known, Guti, this is not his campus, maybe because there's different campuses and he wouldn't have been affected. But I'm like, what? What negligence is this? Then I decided, Guti, you know what? I'm going to take my son out. Or we decided, my husband and I decided, Guti, we're going to remove my son. Let me tell you why. Because I know loss very well. Like when I was an intern, my niece passed away, my sister's child. And I know how that feels, guys. Death has a ripple effect, especially how that death would have occurred. It has a ripple effect. And I know how it feels to be left without answers. Like, they're trying to piece pieces together of what you think would have happened and how you think the events would have unfolded without you knowing actually, Guti, this would have happened and how it would have happened. Yabo. So how my niece passes that she went to a sleepover, right? Then when she came back, she went to a sleepover on a Friday. She came back on a Sunday. And when she came back, she was herself. Like she would play, like I said, she was 6. She would play by herself because at that time she was the only child in Jean. So she would play by herself and do whatnot. I realized that something's wrong when I wanted to give her like cheese curls. Then I don't know, but she was a bit hesitant, but she didn't have them in conclusion. Then Damfakelis kaftin for her to use lunch the following day. Little did I know, Guti, there wouldn't be a following day. She then said she wants to sleep. She went to bed. Actually, we all went to bed, except Sukungoko. I was gonna wake up and go to work that day. So I'm from Ranfontein and I used to work in Sandton. But during that time, I used to stay at Rez because I was doing my internship year and my 3rd year most. I want to be PR, know what I'm talking about. But all in all, we slept at around 2. She started complaining about her tummy. She has a tummy ache. She has a headache. She has a tummy ache. She has a headache. And I felt like I then my excuses, like I scolded when, and I was like, she won't go to school, sleep, you're not going to school. But she wouldn't stop. Then I said to her she must come close to me because it was myself, her, and her mother. So Neslili so threw on the bed, her in the middle. I asked her to come closer to me so that, I don't know, I wanted to cuddle her so that she could just sleep, man. Also, I was sleepy it was just after midnight. Then I asked her to come closer and I realized that she can't. Mind you, this child can walk. Then I saw there's a problem here. Quickly ran to my mom to tell my mom that there's something wrong with her. As our parents will downplay it for a while. And she's like, no, she'll be fine. Let her sleep, whatnot. But she wouldn't sleep. And I don't know why, but I kept on checking her and doing her head, checking her pulse, checking whatever. But girl, I didn't feel anything actually. But after a while, when I kept on doing that, I felt that she was cold. And I actually wish I knew that when a person passes or Efa, the coldness starts way up. So it doesn't start from here going down. It starts, so you'll feel the feet first becoming cold, or the feet will be cold, then it will gradually come up. Then my mom, fast forward, I go to my mom's room to let her know still, Kuti, there's a problem here, girl. You better come. You better come quickly. My mom goes into the room to come check up on us, and she notices that indeed there's a problem here. She gives her water and she ends up bubbling the water. So she doesn't drink the water at all. She bubbles the water. So quickly, my mom says I must go start the car. She quickly needs to go to a hospital. Then I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay. I don't want to go to the hospital. My mom, no siswam, which was her mom, should go, and my cousin was gonna be the one that's driving the car. Sorry, excuse me. My cousin was gonna be the one that was going to be driving them to the hospital. Guys, when I stayed at home, I prayed. Like I prayed. I even remember calling my best friend's sister. You know, when there's like one person, God will hear this person and this person pleads with him. Called her, mind you, it was just after midnight. She didn't even complain, guys. She didn't. She answered the call. I told her what had happened, and we started praying. She tried to calm me down, because also I was crying because what the hell is happening? And this thing is happening right in front of my eyes. Started praying. She started to calm me down, like comforting me. Okay, I hung up. I quickly decided to call my older sister. At that time, she and her husband were still in the ministry, and they were pastor and pastor's wife. Called them to let them know. The reason I didn't call them first also was because I didn't want, because it was so close to home, I didn't want them to worry about right. But I just felt like, you know what, I'm calling these people. They have to know what's happening here. Called them, we prayed. The husband reassured us, God is in charge of the situation, and if it's God's will, Oyama would come back. But if God had decided Tata, she would pass, right? Then after that, mind you, we didn't wash dishes the night before. We hadn't washed dishes, so the kitchen is a total mess. After those phone calls, I decide to start cleaning to get my mind off things. I wash dishes, I'm mopping the kitchen, I'm mopping the house so that it's presentable. It's as if I knew already that she was normal. I think the state that she had left in, my gut feeling kept on telling me, Guti, this is it, girl. You're never gonna see this person again, but just prepare yourself, this is it. So I cleaned the house, and I knew word about a passing spreads fast. I knew that people would start coming to my house, and I didn't want them to find the house dirty. So I started cleaning like I said. Then after I was done, I think I was left with the toilet or something. My mom, her mom, my uncle now was there, and my cousin drove in. And the worst was confirmed. So they came in holding her boots. She liked wearing rain boots. So Bangena put her rain boots. And I just knew it. Because where's this person? And also, if a person is admitted in hospital, her mom would have stayed. And they wouldn't have come back with her rain boots. They would have left them at the hospital, right? So I just knew, Ukuti, this is it. But the reason that I'm telling you guys the story is that we don't know what happened. All we know is that she left for a sleepover, she came back, and she passed. And I'm in no way, guys, saying this happened at the sleep. I don't know where this happened or whatnot, but we later found out that she had, during postmortem, said poison, so they had poisoned her. But that, I think that destroyed me, knowing that like, she's 6, guys. How do you give a 6-year-old poison? 6. Like, it's to this day, like, it baffles me. Like, and I'm trying to piece what had happened, because she was old enough to know that you can't pick something up from the floor and eat it. So in my mind, I would think that someone gave it to her But like you see, like, hence I'm saying I understand where Khanya's parents are. Like they're just confused and they're trying to piece pieces that are not even making sense to them. They're trying to piece pieces that are also confusing them, because that's where we still are. I think this has been 5 years. This happened 5 years ago, and till this day we ask ourselves what went wrong and how did it happen. And till this day, if a person gave it to her, why are you not telling us? Like, why don't you just give us closure? Also, going back to Khanya's story, you send your child to a preschool because you trust the preschool. You send your child to a school because you trust the school. Or badali male shisiwe because you're relying on them to take care of your child in your absence. I would also think that you would choose a preschool that has cameras for a reason, because you'd say if something were to happen, these cameras are going to be made available to me, and I would have closure and I would know what happened to my child, which is not the case with them. Like, I have so many questions about this. Would they ever be comfortable with taking their child to a preschool again? I hope God blesses them with another baby, because wow. But would they ever be comfortable with taking their child to a preschool again? Because I know I'm not comfortable with my son going to sleepovers because of the experience I had with my niece. Not that I don't trust people, but I think my mind says or tells me to just avoid accidents. And I know, like I'd always say, sometimes it would have been better if the accident happened maybe a car or around us, and we saw this and we could act quickly. And your mind will always tell you that if you were there, you could have acted quickly or whatnot. Or if she was sick, if we knew that she was sick and we felt like, you know what, we tried our best and whatnot, but it really didn't work. Like, it has a ripple effect. This thing has a ripple effect, and not just on the parents, hey? Not just on the parents. The entire family gets affected by this. Hence, I think I'm so annoyed at the school that they're not saying anything. Even to us parents, even. Like, I get it, Khanya was not my son or anything, but it happened too close to home. My son goes to that preschool. The little that they could have done, apart from the statement, which I think was fabricated, they could have called in parents, sat them down, and let them know, Kuti, this is what happened. This is how it happened, and we're letting you guys know because we know that since your children go here or they're enrolled in our schools in various campuses, this could have affected you. And I know that there are some parents that are really not affected by this. Like, but it didn't happen to my son, didn't happen to my daughter, it's fine. I'm really not like that. I think because and I've experienced loss like, it was just like, not this again. Like, it was a trigger. And I remember the entire week in these buzukuti, why is this thing triggering me so much? Like, even after it happened, I stopped my son from going to school immediately. I was just like, guys, and I know other people would say, yo, I know Tando dramatic, why would you do that? But if you've dealt with loss, you would know exactly why I did that. You would know, Guti, it takes you straight back to the incident that had occurred in your life. Then, I don't know, then you feel like you do not trust your son's or my son's surroundings. It made me feel like I don't trust the people that are supposed to be taking care of my son. Like I said, although it didn't happen in the same campus, but it's the same branch. For me, I will paint you with the same brush, because if you're a preschool and something like a bookshelf is not mounted on a wall and you have toddlers, it means you're doing the same thing across the board, because if one rule is implemented here, it gets implemented throughout the campuses. And I also remember calling a friend of mine because she wanted to enroll her children in that particular campus. And I was just like, girl, your children can't go there. Never. They can never go there. Also, one thing about me is that when you're my friend, your children automatically become my children. Hence, I felt like I have to tell her, Kuti, God and your ancestors and whom was on your side when you decided to not take them there, because wow, this could have happened right in front of amehlo mntanakho. And I guess that's also traumatizing for the kids. What happened to my niece traumatized me. I think this is actually the first time I relay the story and not cry. I took a video last week of the same thing and I couldn't hold it in. It was just too much of a trigger. Hence I decided, you know what, let the steam blow off. Let some days pass. Excuse me. Let me deal with my own emotions. Let me deal with my battles. Let me ask myself, why is this thing triggering me? Why is it bothering me so much? Like, what is it, Kanti? Then I found out that this thing is triggering me because of my niece. Because she was also, and I can, who guys, no, but little Ashford pulled a number on on those parents. No, And for me, it's that the teachers will get suspended or they'll get fired or whatnot, but that will not bring their little boy back. It won't. He's gone. He is gone. Like, why didn't, like, I have so many questions. Why didn't you call an ambulance? And why did you take him there to the hospital and say, parents, meet me there? That's another thing that's making me not comfortable with little Ashford. What were you doing in that space of an hour to 2 hours when you were not telling the parents what had happened? To me, I almost feel like, what were you covering up? I guess we'll never know, basically, what was everybody doing. Like, you would think that a school like Little Ashford would know, you can't remove olimele from the scene. I mean, even in accidents, random people don't just get there and start taking people out of the car. People wait for paramedics because they are trained to do that. Like, you'd think they have, first aid or whatnot. And I think because for me, you're moving this child from the scene, but you're not taking this child into a car and into the hospital. Like, I don't know. I honestly and truly don't know, but maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's because, but guys, like, no. Also, another thing is that, why were these teachers on their phones? And for me, surely it wasn't the first time, because of the way they were so comfortable to be on their phones. There's cameras in there, right? But they were on their phones. Like, nothing said, no, or we can't be on our phones. Everybody was just like, you know what, before I start into that what's this, that would offend people and whatnot, please let me know what you think. Please let me know if I'm the crazy one. Please let me know if you're taking it too far, because wow, I took it too far. Like, I don't think I blew it out of proportion, but I took it far, because, like I had explained, because of everything that happened to me. I think another thing is that, then you'll be told how to deal with grief. Lingobani, guys. Yo, you should get over it now. Like I said, I was crying last week This happened 5 years ago, and I was crying last week. I don't think you ever deal with death, but you learn to cope with it. Like, your mind comes to terms with what happened, and you pick up the pieces and you take it from there. But I don't think we are tola. Like, I don't think you ever at peace with what would have happened. I think also because you know this person, you loved this person, still love the person. You're just trying to make sense of living without them now. Also, death is strange, eh? Death is very strange. Because one moment the person is here, one moment the person is gone, you'll never see or hear from them ever again. Hence, indeed, I don't think, even when it comes to grief, people should be forced or should be told how to grieve, when to grieve, why to grieve, or what. Just let the people, and don't let the person be. Like, if they want to scream, allow them. Also, we all deal with traumatic situations differently. We all deal with things differently. Like, our bodies, we can handle so much until our bodies are just like, yo, I need to let this out. And by not allowing a person to grieve, you run the risk of the person becoming like depressed. Maybe you're playing with their mental state, basically, because they're bottling these feelings up, and like, there's just a lot. Like, like I said, there's just a ripple effect. Just let people be. Let them deal with their instances the way they want to. Like, I don't blame Utata Kagane for kicking down the door. I know my husband would have done the exact same thing. I would have done the exact same thing, if not more. Because you're thinking, my child was, did I do a right thing by enrolling them in preschool? This preschool in particular. Did I? To a point that you start blaming yourself. And it makes you feel like you were not there when your child needed you the most. Do you understand that this scar will forever be open? It will forever be open. Even if they were to get another baby, which I hope uNkulunkulu grants them that grace, if they want another baby, I hope God gives them another baby. But the Khanya space will always be there. It can never be taken out, because it's just like, okay, we would have had 2 children, but this one passed and it wasn't our fault. I can explain, guys. I can imagine sitting endlini, trying to explain to the mourners what happened. You know, so in the black culture, when someone passes away, then people come, mourners come to comfort their family and whatnot. And you need to keep, or you're required to tell the mourners, like, what happened. Like, okay, this happened and this happened. This is how this. So you're basically painting a picture of the order of the events that led to that particular person's death. Imagine, I took my child to school, then they didn't come back. Oh, guys, you guys, oh, guys, ooh. Like, I don't even know. That doesn't even, it just baffles me that there were no answers, or such negligence happened. One thing I explained, I took my child to school. They didn't come back. We went to school. They didn't want to show us the footage. We forced to get the footage. We found on the footage that the teachers were on their phones, and we found out that it's negligence. I hope that those teachers uNkulunkulu deals with them accordingly, because they took away a gift from another family. They took out, we don't know ukuthi lithemba labo, guys. Maybe lithemba labo lomntana or ne lithemba labo. I don't believe in revenge. I don't believe in zonke zonto, kodwa kuthiwa whatever you plant you reap. Whatever you sow you will reap. Also, the Bible says our great-grandchildren will be punished for our mistakes. Imagine that whole thing, guys. Imagine even that scenario. Now your grandchildren are going to be punished because of your negligence. Ha, guys. Hi. Because when you couldn't hold yourself for the children to sleep or nap, for you to be on your... What was so important, guys? Instagram, WhatsApp. Look what happened now. Guys, you know what? Please let me know how you feel in the comment section about this whole story, because never shame. I would never even take name nomuntu oti no right, no, that's nonsense. The school was at fault here. The school should have, I know Guti, no amount of money can be paid to the family or whatnot, but the school needed to take yonke lento, bury the child if they didn't give. I don't even know how, but they are at fault, and I hope it comes out, and I hope they are dealt with. I hope the law in South Africa plays its role. So guys, I'll see you guys in the comment section. Thank you for watching. If you are here, thank you for watching the entire video. I know some parts don't make sense, like sometimes I relay the story in order. I hope you do a like, comment, and subscribe from me to you guys. I love you. Till next time, sharp.